Have you ever looked at your job and thought, on paper, this should look fine, but still I feel so disconnected? Nothing is technically wrong, but something feels off. So that's what we're going to talk about today. That quiet disconnection you might feel with your job. So why do you feel disconnected? One might be this chronic exhaustion, that fatigue, when curiosity decreases and care fades, everything feels so heavy. With chronic fatigue, you're tired all the time that you can't even feel that joy that you once felt for your job, and therefore you disconnect. Because if you don't have that energy, how are you able to still be present in your job? Then there's living in autopilot. And this is when you have the same patterns, the same routines, the same expectations. There's nothing new. You've done this before. 5 years, 10 years, even 20 years. Then that joy for your job just dissipates. It's the same old, same old. Remember the time when you might have first started your job? You were eager for the new day. You were eager for what lies ahead, what challenge there is. How are you going to sort it out? Even the people you interact with, learning new things, meeting new people, going new places. I'd like you to cast your mind to your first job. Yes, you might have been nervous, but also there was that excitement. Even the excitement to start earning, making a living, buying things for yourself. The job was a means to an end, a good end of more financial possibilities and what you could buy with that. I remember I used to be really excited with my new projects, my new job. I would do much more than what was expected of me. I'd have initiative. I'd volunteer for things. But then, when we disconnect, there's that autopilot, us operating from a place of being there, done that. Same old, same thing, just a new day, a new year. Another reason for us being or feeling disconnected from our work is that there's the lack of visible impact. And this goes to, what value am I providing? So your outcomes are abstract and it might be distant. You might be at the front of the value chain doing something, but you can't see how that impacts the customer who's at the end of the value chain. Then there's the over-identifying with performance. It's only about the output. You drive, deliverable after deliverable, and there's no time to just pause to look at impact. So you over-identify with performance. You perform as a role and not as per the individual providing an impact. That gets lost over performance. Then there's such a thing as suppressed misalignment. And here I mean when values change, expectations and priorities have changed, and this here causes a misalignment. Also, there's no pausing to reflect, and you just have the go culture, the hustle culture, being busy. So that causes that misalignment which is suppressed. And the last one that could possibly lead to your disconnection from your job is unspoken resentment. You do, but you don't feel as if you're being acknowledged for it. Yes, I know we're getting paid for the job we're doing, but we all love appreciation, acknowledgement, just being acknowledged for the piece of work that we did. And if we don't get it, sometimes we disconnect as well. Then also there's boundaries that might blur. Just today, I was in a session with a grouping of people, and they're looking at their ways of work, and I'm helping them define this. What causes their disconnecting from their jobs to even being angry is that everything is dumped on them. They're one person representing a function in this office, and they're given work that's not in their portfolio. So by action, what it's showing is that there's a lack of respect for that job by people that they service or by people that they provide a service to. So that boundaries and blurring of boundaries also makes you disconnect because everything becomes yours. There's no distinction of the role that you actually play. The expectations grow and much more is expected of you. And sometimes you're not even engaged on the expectations from your stakeholders, from your seniors. So it's just thrown on you, and the expectation is you just do it. So that makes you disconnect as well. The question then becomes, how can we reconnect? How can we reconnect to the job that we're doing? The fact of the matter is, most of us have to work. We don't have the safety net or large amounts of money in the bank, so we're forced to work. But as I say to the people I engage with in my focus groups, is that we spend so much time at work. We need to find ways of finding joy. And yes, we need to be intentional about it. So here are a few ideas that I put down as I planned this video. The first one is finding something new inside your job. By this I mean, is there a way of us doing things differently? So when you jump into a car, if you're going to the store, you know the way to the store. So you just do it on autopilot. You're not going to a new place. But when you go to a new place, you take in the scenery. You enjoy whatever is out there. You look at new things. It's like looking through new eyes or a new set of lens. So that's autopilot. If we can switch that around, do things differently, try not to operate from a state of being in autopilot. Learn something new. When you're learning, you're improving yourself, but it also keeps you on your toes. I'm doing YouTube. Even speaking like this, it's new for me. I know my area of work, but I'm not trained in all of this. I'm learning with each video. There's editing, there's going live. So all of those things are new to me. And I feel that this is outside my job, but it keeps me fresh. It keeps me excited even. So do a task differently. Find something to learn. Learn a new tool. something that will improve you in your job. Do something as simple as this. Change the order in which you do things. Don't do the same thing in the same pattern each day, day in, day out. Because you're definitely going to disconnect if you do the same thing. But if you can move things a bit, change it up, then maybe you can bring some excitement into each day. Also, question a default process. Look at how you can optimize things, how you can work more effectively. What I've also found is when I teach, when I share something with a colleague or teach somebody something new, I have a sense of fulfillment. So, how can you give back? How can you improve somebody else's life? Then there's balancing with something outside of work. Work does not speak to all aspects of our being. So find things that really engages you, satisfies you, makes you happy. What are you passionate about? Maybe do something as a side endeavor. What are your hobbies? Look at a hobby. Creativity, movement. Take a hike. Take a trip somewhere. How can you indulge yourself from a creativity perspective? Look at all of that. So here, the point being is that work won't give you everything. So find something outside of work that can speak to other aspects of your being. Look at small energy resets. For example, music. Put something that you love and dance to it, or something that you love and listen to it on your way to work or in between meetings. That will give you so much of energy. It just resets your mood when you listen to music that you really enjoy. And I'm not sure about you, but if I'm sad and I listen to something that's uplifting, it improves my emotion, my mood so much. So find music that really helps improve your mood, helps you to reconnect. I used to love the song Kokomo by the Beach Boys. Before I write in a paper, I'd listen to it and it improved my state of being. And when I wrote that paper, I was in a more positive mood. I was not stressing. And you know what? I always did better when I was intentional of how I was going into that exam room. So, like that, before you go into a meeting or before you do a big piece of work, or even at certain times of the day, listen to uplifting music. Then, walking. That restores perspective. When you walk in nature, you just take everything in around you. You forget about your problems, and oftentimes as well, you go for a walk, and when you get back or during that walk, you find solutions, or after the walk, solutions will come to you because walking allows you to just rest and reset. Short pauses that reconnects you to yourself. Very often we want to just push, push, push. We think more is better. We're running against the clock. But sometimes pausing is much more effective than just grinding. So find space to pause. And whatever you do in that pause period, that's up to you. Some people meditate, some people will do things, but just pause to reconnect. So, those are simple things that I put down that can maybe help you reconnect. And hopefully, by doing this intentionally, you can disconnect from this feeling that you're feeling and reconnect to the joys of your day. So, disconnection isn't something to fight or judge, but it is something that you need to be aware of. Because once you're aware of it, then you can make small adjustments. Sometimes reconnecting doesn't mean you need to find a new job. It's about engaging in new ways with the job that you currently have. Small, intentional shifts can break that disconnect and help you reconnect again.